It's certainly it's difficult to put this together. Like you have to be very strong to create the character, to see them go on a downward arc and then turn things back around and come forward again. And then we have to feel like that redemption makes sense. Like it makes sense in with Scrooge, like what he's seeing and everything. It makes really good sense. And she did a good job with Malfoy. But if you could really bumble this thing up and like make the whole thing fall apart pretty easy. Like it's a very precarious one to use.
Yeah. You could probably go at it by like kind of trying to remodel the Christmas Carol. So, he obviously uses the tools of the three ghosts to help him undergo change, basically, and go through his character arc and evolve. So you'd need to have those tools in place, which they could be, maybe they wouldn't be ghosts, maybe they'd be friends, or thinking about past experiences that the character had, or new experiences that caused them to see themselves in a new way. But yeah, it would take some really strong writing, as you said.
Yeah, and
not to put anyone off doing it, of course.
No, not at all. Like it's just if you were to take Booker's thing here, and I would say that you should combine this. Like if you took the elements of tragedy, and then cut the last two of them out, because we know that we talked about tragedy last time, where the hero is no longer listens to his friends. Like he's become really against what they're saying and starts listening to people that aren't helping him, and so. Or her. And so if we took it like that and we started this downward spiral with the tragedy and then use these bottom ones here to come back up and to start turning them around to redeeming themselves, that I think could be more powerful than this on its own.
Yeah, I think so. I think if you're going to do this, study, what's been done, but not study, but read where it's worked before, and look at where you can work it into another plot.
And put it in with something else, because it just
strengthen it.
Yeah, it would be. I just think this would be a very difficult one. Like I'm looking at it myself and like trying to think of characters and like where I could put them into places. And if I just took it line by line, like he's got it here, I'm not sure that I could put together a strong enough story to go along with it, and it could have very strong story elements. Like your reader can connect really well with that idea. We've talked about it before, that idea that they want to change, they want to be better. And so they want to see someone change and be better. And so with that kind, that can really work. But on the other side, if you're taking this is almost the fairy tale way of doing it, I just think it's a little weak on its own.
Because you would need to identify with the villain right at the beginning of the story.
Yes.
To sort of sympathize. Ooh, what about Despicable Me?
Oh, Despicable Me would be an excellent one. We were talking about trying to find modern ones. That's a really good one.
Because I was thinking, you need to sympathize with the villain. You'd have to have a connection with the villain in order for the redemption to mean something. You couldn't just have sort of like Cruella de Vil and at the end she's good and it's not so interesting. So
no, it's not.
Whereas it worked in Despicable Me, didn't it? Maybe like the comedy factor, or
because he's approachable villain. Like he's kind of a little bit eccentric and a little off and everything like that. And so you got a whole comedy element going into it. Yeah. And it does really work well, though, to watch him go from only caring about his evil plots to caring about the three kids. Spoiler alert. Sorry about that. I haven't seen it. I think we ought to just say spoiler alert at the beginning.
Yeah, we'll say it now for every show.
Yes.
As soon as you hear us mention a book or a film, we're going to discuss the ending.
Yeah, we're going to discuss the ending and ruin it for you. So, sorry. That's what we do. You should have seen it, okay? It's a really good movie.
Yeah, you deserve to have it spelled. We don't even care.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening, and come back next week for more. Please visit thebookeditorshow.com for show notes, links to guests, books and extras, and for information on how to be a guest on the show.